Hello and thanks for checking out ChartGuys.com. We're proud to be one of the most successful technical analysis communities online, teaching you the skills to become a more confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community of hundreds of analysts worldwide working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. For access to daily live chart analysis and market coverage, a thriving chat community, along with dozens of hours of exclusive educational materials. We look forward to seeing you. Let's check out some charts. Hey everyone, hope you're having a good weekend. Checking in on things, we're going to look at MJ, WEED, ACB, APH, and I forgot to put CRON in there. We'll get CRON in there, and IMLFF. And we're going to look at the overall market because the overall market has definitely had an impact on my perception on what I'm looking at. And I know the correlation comes and goes with SPY. Obviously, SPY has been extremely bullish the past couple of days. We had some bullish data. The jobs numbers on Friday were very good. And we didn't necessarily see that trickle into MJ, but we know the correlation is there. It comes and goes in terms of strength, and that's the same thing with, you know, the markets and oil and all these other different factors, the dollar. So, but one thing I want to point out with the markets is the fact that we're seeing some very bullish action. And after the all-out dump that we had a few weeks ago, everybody was saying, uh-oh, is this the top? Are we going to see a crash and all these things? You know, everybody's looking for the macro dump, all these big dump events. But since then, the bulls have really proven themselves on the recovery. We have the high of our bounce. We pulled back, and we're looking for a higher high now. We're close to breaking 278.92. We're right on the verge of that level. And after that resistance, there's not many resistances until the all-time high. So once we clear that level, the price has only ever been higher about 2 weeks of trading. So what that does for me is it gives me a little bit of a sentiment change in the sector overall, in the sense that I personally would not want to be holding long-term positions or swing trading positions if this market were heading back down towards the dump lows, because that would tell me on this weekly time frame, okay, the trend is changing on the overall market and we could be entering a bearish period. And obviously that would affect every single sector in the market if that were to play out. But that is not the case, so that is a good sign for the bulls. Again, doesn't necessarily mean on a day-to-day basis that it's going to be beneficial, but on an overall perception scale of, you know, investors and traders, if the market's continuing to hit all-time highs, we're going to be a lot more bullish on any sector than if it were not. And just remember when Canadian MJ was running, we had that big run up when MJ started going live on the ETF. But while that was happening, we also had the markets at all-time highs. And look at this leg up that we had seen at that point in time. So the market strength only helps the bulls. There's no doubt about that. And just wanted to point out that we're on the verge of a significant bull break in terms of looking towards all-time highs. So checking in on MJ. Still consolidating, so we need to be looking to take profit on our 5th green day in a row. The gap up open, things were overextended, the hourly time frames were overextended. We needed consolidation. It's still healthy consolidation at this point. You could make the argument this could fit into a bull flag pattern right now. If we break 32.87, the current low of this consolidation, it won't be a bull flag anymore, but that does not mean that it is, you know, game over for the bulls. We have a lot of space where we can form a higher low, because the last higher low that we formed was all the way down here at 30.57. So even if we did pull back all the way down to, you know, 31.50, it's still a higher low, even though that would be about a 4.5% pullback. So we closed near the low of the day on MJ. We're watching for further consolidation. I'm looking for an hourly higher low and higher high to give me an indication that we are looking at a higher low on the daily. So here the past 3 days, you can see our high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and we're on the verge of another lower low, which is going to tell us that we're still in consolidation mode. So waiting patiently. MJ still doesn't have any shares available to short on Fidelity, and at this point I'm assuming that probably won't be a thing anymore. Looks like they don't have enough supply, but either way, you know, there are some small bear trades to be made, but overall on the daily chart I would still be looking in the sector overall, and just looking at WEED, checking out the daily time frame. So the clear bull break from this tightening pattern, we are in consolidation mode. We did not see follow through from this bull candle attempt. And again, I didn't really trust that candle. You'll see in the video I did last time. Didn't really trust it just because it was a move coming at the end of the day. And that move was coming off of the low. And again, as I keep saying, we need higher lows and higher highs to show the shift in the trend change. We had a nice bull move, but we never got higher lows and higher highs from that move. So the hourly time frame is just continuing with lower highs and lower lows. So here's our high of the bull move. low, lower high, lower low, pulling back, lower high, lower low, lower high. And if we see this break of 31.48, it's going to be a lower low and tell us we're not done consolidating yet. So same thing though, we have a ton of space here. This would be the ideal level to hold for the bulls to be their strongest, 28.63. And the bulls would love to hold 30 psychological because that was our key resistance level, and the bulls want to see that hold as support. But really, it's the same thing. This is the must-hold level down here at 25.61. So there's tons of space for pullback. We could pull back 15% and still be right at this support level. So it's telling us that we're still in consolidation mode. The bears still have control of the short term. The bulls are liking the fact that the volume is declining. A red flag would be if it were increasing bearish volume. That's not the case. And we're just patiently waiting for the hourly chart to shift to a higher low and a higher high to show us the bulls are ready to take back over to attempt continuation on the daily time frame. ACB, also looking at the daily, same story. So we're coming off of our low. Anything above this level of 953 will be a higher low. The bulls ideally want to hold the low of consolidation at this point, 1110. But if we break it, it's not a big red flag. And we have an inside bar on Friday's trading. So support is 1122 of the inside bar. Resistance is 1158. We'll see which direction we break on Monday. And it's the same story here on the hourly time frame. We have almost a little bit of a double top here at resistance of 1159 and 1158. And it's just a lower high and not a lower low just yet until we break that. But again, still in consolidation mode until we see a clear break of resistance and a higher low and a higher high on the hourly. APH on the daily is still struggling big time in terms of trying to play catch up. We have our clear resistance. We have not broken the downtrend. It's the only name on this screen that has not broken the downtrend on the daily of lower highs. So we have a clear resistance at 1541 and 1532. The bulls ideally want to hold 1403, the low right here. Other than that, our low is down here at 1189, and we are weaker by far on APH on the daily chart than any of the other major names. So we can see a clear double top of resistance. If we get a break of 1541, that will be significant, but that's a ways away, and we're still trying to make our way to that level. And if we do get a break of 1541, that would be likely that we're going to see these other names like WEED on their daily chart make their way back up towards their recent high as well. CRON, so still pulling back on the daily as well. Same story again. Look at the volume. This is a great sign. This is the volume when the NASDAQ opened up and we had US money pouring in. And the trading now that's going on is looking a lot more like arbitrage to me personally, where we see like a lot of 100 share orders going through. And that happens on the Canadian side as well. But in my opinion, most of the volume that we're seeing right now is not coming from US on CRON. More of it, in my opinion, on low volume days like this is coming from market makers doing arbitrage to keep CRON pinned to what the Canadian ticker is doing. And I'm referring to the US ticker being pinned to the Canadian ticker. So more volume coming into the Canadian ticker and the US ticker moving accordingly with that. So we're down at the low of consolidation. It's at 1180 at this point. If 1180 breaks, we're looking at 1095. And same thing with the hourly. Have to change the trend. And it's still lower highs and lower lows. Our last lower high was here at 1254. And we're heading back down to test support. So on Monday, most of these names on the daily chart are going to be testing their low of consolidation on the daily chart. Up to this point, it'd be ideal if the bulls could hold it. If they don't hold it, it's no big red flag. We'll start to get red flags if we see increasing bear volume and continuation on this pullback. Otherwise, we're just patiently waiting for the hourly chart to give us the signal and a bullish daily reversal candlestick forming once that hourly higher low and higher high comes in. IMLFF, still healthy consolidation. We have an inside bar to be watching on Monday. Support is 119 and resistance is 131. So looking at the volume drop off as the range tightens, and just looking at it on the hourly time frame, it's an equilibrium pattern where we have our high, low, lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low. So key support right now is 118 and 119, and resistance is 131 and 134. So things are tightening up. The volume is dropping off accordingly with this tightening range, and we're looking for a break on Monday. Probably Monday. I'd say 75% chance we're going to break this range on Monday, and we'll be looking for that break to give us an indication on where momentum is headed to start the week. So I appreciate you watching. I personally am still all cash, patiently waiting for this consolidation to come to an end. I'm in no rush to get back in. Made that trade for WEED on the break of $30 and sold up on the reversal candlestick, and now just patiently waiting for that re-entry. So I appreciate you watching. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.